As a continuation of our video on arrays, manipulations, creation, everything, we had stopped near array creations and array manipulations. We further need to go into more details about array manipulations and also about different types of array manipulations. Let's say that we have an array called or a matrix of A defined as a random matrix of say 3 cross 4 and right click, evaluate selection. This is our particular matrix, and let's say that we need to extract all these three elements of particular matrix called A. The way we can do that is, for example, say A, the three elements that we need to extract is in the matrix A. So you first write the matrix A, then open a bracket, and then what are the locations of the elements that you need. Okay, first you mention for the rows and then for the columns. Okay, first for the rows and then for the columns. What we are mentioning about row is we need it in the third row, and we need from which column to which column, second column all the way up to the fourth column, right, in steps of 1, right. So when we mention this particular thing and right click, evaluate selection, so we are going to get the extract of the particular matrix A, which is exactly what we wanted, right. So this is one thing, and we could also proceed on to find out, let's say that we wanted all the elements of the second row and second column and first row, and second column and second row, and third column and first row, and third column and third row. How do we do this, right? So A of R comma C, and the row that we need is either you can specify it as 1 and 3, right, and the columns you can specify it as 2 and 3, and enter, right click, evaluate selection. Then we get the particular extract, or a better way to do it is could be A of R comma C, and the rows that we need is basically starting from 1 till 3 in steps of 2, right. So basically we need all the odd number of rows, and second column till third column is what we need in steps of unity. That's by goes by default, right. So right click, evaluate selection, you're going to get the same result as, but anyway you will be preferring about this method than this method, and there is another more powerful method that we have, and let's say that this is our particular matrix called A, and we need to extract this element, this element, this element, and this element, right. So how do we do this? Pretty simple. First we need to know that this is actually size of A along the first dimension, right. When you right click, evaluate selection, you're going to get the same result as you got previously. So this is in many ways much better, because many a times you will not be knowing what is the exact size of the matrix. So in which case it will be better to specify size of A comma 1, wherein the MATLAB associates itself with the size whatever it wants, right. That is one way of array extraction. So what we have learned is different ways of array extractions, and let's say we have a matrix called A. Okay, this is a particular matrix A, and we need to replace all these two elements by say 10, right. How do we do this? So now A of which row, first row, second column till third column needs to be replaced by what? It needs to be replaced by 10 and 10, right. So now right click, evaluate selection. So what do we have? We have A matrix which has its first row, second column, and first row, third column replaced by 10 and 10, right. We could also achieve this, say if we want to replace it by 20, say 20 into, we can also achieve it like this, 20 into 1 of 1 comma 2, right. This also works equally well. So now we have, instead of 10 we have 20 over this place, and let's say we have to replace selectively. Okay, so now A of 1 is to size of A comma 1 going up all the way from this, even on the odd columns, odd rows, and first till all the odd columns up to the total number of columns in matrix A should be is equals to 0. So where we have it 0 0 0 0. Let's say that we don't know, we have a big matrix of A is equals to rand of say 6 cross 6. So this is our particular matrix that we have. Let me run it once again. You will be able to see this is our 6 cross 6 matrix, and what we basically need is this. You will see what is the advantage of doing like this using size. So now you see it is much better to prescribe the locations using the size command rather than specifying the values yourself, right? Let MATLAB choose all the row numbers and the column numbers on its own according to the condition that you have defined, right? So basically, if you have understood whatever we have taught you in this particular lecture and the previous connecting lecture, you should be in a good position to understand conditionals, understand array creations, array manipulations, and array data extraction and everything, right?